Yes,
Yeah.
Susan.
So here we see that generally the word hero, uh, the connotation from Vedic texts, generally we understand it to mean some Kshatriya, we call him hero, you know. Generally that's what we understand, okay, some king or somebody who fought valiantly in battle. But that's not necessarily uh, the definition of a Veera. So Veera could also mean somebody who is very charitable. He's hero, heroic. Similarly, somebody Dharma Veeram. Somebody is a great devotee, is also a hero. You know, so of course, in today modern world, those who can act are also heroes. That is nowhere there in the Vedic tradition. But hero generally, when people when they read scripture or when they think of scripture, hero generally refers to some great king or administrator. That's the connotation that we generally have in mind. You know, but it's not necessary that it has to be a king. It can be somebody who's very charitable, can be somebody who's very fixed in religious principles. Just wanted to make that point. Yes, Natsu, go ahead.
Text 43. Hela vilangitagadha shatayojan sagaraha raksho rajpurastharta Sita Shwasana Govidaha. With playful disregard, he jumped across the thousands of miles of fathomless ocean. Expertly in the capital of Rakshas king, he comforted Mother Sita in her distress. Text 44.
And just go there one second. There is somebody who, okay. He jumped across thousands of miles of fathoms of see here, you look at that, it says Shata Yojana, you know, hundreds of yojanas in extent, you know. So, what to say, one yojana, I think is one sec. Check. What is the yojana? Yojana measurement. It's about 12 kilometers. One yojana is about 12 kilometers. You know, what is the distance between, 1 minute. The reason I'm saying this is, I'll just come to 1 minute. Distance. So the tip of Sri Lanka to what is it, to Tamil Nadu, the distance is not hundreds of yojanas for sure. It is very small. It is not a very huge distance, you know. So why does it say hundreds of yojanas here in extent? In fact, if you carefully study the conversation with Srila Prabhupada did not confirm that. In fact, he was doubtful whether the Sri Lanka of today is the Sri Lanka or is Ravana's kingdom of Sri Lanka. In fact, one of our devotee astrologers, when he did their astrological study and things like that, it is quite. I mean, in fact, there's a whole article I can look that up and say it is much far away than that. And he posits that it drowned later on because it's so many thousands of years old. So probably it went under the sea or something like that, because there are more specific directions of this in the other shastras. So just bringing up a point. So it is not confirmed that the Lanka, Sri Lanka that exists today is the Lanka that existed during the time of Ravana. Okay, please go ahead.
But Prabhuji, when devotees go there, they apparently are told that this is Ashok Vatika where Sita Maya was. They
They
also
say
have
all
a
that. They say all that. But Prabhupada
uh,
was not clear. So do our acharyas, as far as I know. But anyway, uh, there is no clarity that that is actually Lanka. That way, if you look at it in India, there are so many places where you go to so many places in India, they say Pandavas came here, Pandavas came there. It is not that everywhere the Pandavas went during their exile, you know. So we don't
okay.
know. But for sure, this is, look at this, Shata Yojana. I mean, hundreds
Shatayo.
of yojanas in extent. Each
Hmm.
yojana is about 12 kilometers, you know. So
Yes.
hundreds means, let's say
12.
even if it is 200. So 200 times 12 is how much? Huge distance. That is not the
Yeah.
distance between Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka for sure. Between Rameshwaram and Sri Lanka, definitely not. Because from
So
Rameshwaram only he went, right? So distance between Rameshwaram to, let's say, Jaffna. Okay.
isn't it only 12? This is only 1,200 kilometers, right? One yojana, hundreds
One
of
yojana is
yojanas.
about 12 kilometers.
Yeah, yeah. So 1,200 kilometers.
No, that's hundreds of yojanas, not one, not 100 yojana, no, hundreds, hundreds of yojanas.
Hmm.
In fact, the
Even
exact measurement is also there. Yeah,
even for
Mataji, it is
Mayapur
the
also.
distance between Rameshwaram to Jaffna, that too by road it says. I don't know how you can go by road to Jaffna. I mean, anyway, here even by road it shows very circuitous route. It shows about 300 kilometers or so. You know. Okay, distance between Rameshwaram and this thing is equal to 54.08 nautical miles. That's it. Aerial distance is only. I mean, if you go by sea, that's what it is. 54 miles. 54 miles is what, 100 kilometers. But here is talking about hundreds of yojanas.
Yeah. Okay, that's how. Uh, so this all this may not be correct. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Prabhupada is doubtful. You can see the conversation. Yeah,
hmm,
there is. I look it up and send it to you. There is a conversation. He's not very
hmm.
clear. Okay. I mean, he's not sure. There's a long conversation.
Actually, for Mayapur also, Guru Maharaj says that it was on that side of Ganges. Now it's on this side. So many
No.
geographical
That is
changes.
confirmed. No, that is confirmed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Hmm.
That is
No, I
confirmed by
mean to
Bhaktivinoda
say
Thakur.
that so many geographical changes have been occurred over the years. So it's been
No,
like,
there is no
well,
geographical changes about Mayapur. No.
no,
What
I'm
changes
saying for
occurred? No.
Rameshwaram. I'm
Yeah,
saying for,
it was under, Mayapur was under water, the Ganges. So later on, the Ganges receded after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth, after Lord
hmm.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance. But here, whether it's under the ocean, we don't know. But actual, one sec. Uh,
In one of the pictures by NASA, the Setu Bandh is shown right under the water. Is it correct?
I don't know,
Hmm.
actually. Uh, no, 1 minute. There's an article I was just thinking, but I'm not able to look it up. When I find it, send it to you. It's a very detailed article, very nicely analytically analyzes where it could be, you know, based on references, not just some random thing, based on references. Let's go ahead for now.
Okay, text 44. Very santarja ko lanka dah ko durg bhanj kaha Sita varta hara swami Gada He boldly threatened his enemies, burned Lanka, and destroyed its citadel. When he brought back news of Sita, he received his master's deep embrace. Commentary. Hanuman audaciously challenged Ravan and the other Rakshasas by killing everyone. Ravan sent to stop killing everyone. Ravan sent to stop him from destroying the Ashoka Grove. First 80,000 Rakshas soldiers, then the great demon Jambu Mali, then the seven sons of Ravan's ministers, the five commanders of Ravana's armies, and Ravana's own son Akshay Kumar. When Hanuman delivered to Lord Ramchandra the news that Sita was safe, the Lord was extremely pleased with him. In text 43 and 44, Prahlad has listed Hanuman's accomplishments in order of increasing importance. Each additional deed was more significant reason for Lord Ramchandra's accepting Hanuman as his personal associate. Text 45. स्वप्रभोर्वाहक श्रेष्ठ श्वेत छत्रिका पुच्छकः सुखासन महापृष्ठा सेतुबंध क्रियाग्रणिः. It was Hanuman who acted as his lord's best carrier, his tail serving as a royal white umbrella, his broad back a comfortable seat for the Lord. And it was Hanuman who directed the project of bridging the ocean. Commentary. Hanuman is the best of all Lord's carriers, including Garuda. Uh, when his master needed to travel from Kishkinda to the southern shore of the ocean, Hanuman carried him all the way on his broad, beautiful, soft back. In modern times, people take the liberty to carry umbrellas of any color they like, but traditionally only kings were allowed to use white umbrellas. To, to equip Lord Ramchandra with his symbol of royalty while in the forest, where manufactured umbrellas were not available, Hanuman provided his own white tail. Hanuman took a major part in building the bridge to Lanka and he inspired the monkey labor force by hurling the largest boulders into place. Text 46. Vibhishanartha sampadi rakshobala vinashakrit vishalya karani namo Shodhe Anayan Shaktiman. He fulfilled the desires of Vibhishan. He destroyed the military force of the Rakshasas, and he had the special power to deliver the healing herb called Vishallekarani. Commentary. Vibhishan, even though Ravan's brother, always wanted to become a servant of Lord Ramchandra. Early on, Hanuman furthered Vibhishan's cause by telling the Lord about his saintly behavior. And when
Mataji,
Vibhishan.
I can't hear you. Can you just read a little louder?
Okay. Should I read the commentary again?
Yes, Mataji.
Vibhishan, even though Ravana's brother, always wanted to become a servant of Lord Ramchandra. Early on, Hanuman furthered Vibhishan's cause by telling the Lord about his saintly behavior. And when Vibhishan defected and crossed the ocean, Hanuman arranged for him to meet with the Lord. The acts of Hanuman mentioned up to this point correspond to those narrated in Sri Ramayan in the Kishkindha Kand and Sundar Kand. From here on, beginning with the phrase Raksho Bal Vinashakrit, destroyer of Rakshasa's military force, through the phrase in the text 49, Sita Pramodanaha, encourager of Sita. The accomplishments of Hanuman in the Yuddha Kand are briefly described. Srila Sanatan Goswami assumed that his readers were familiar with Valmiki's Ramayana and therefore left out further details of these stories to avoid needlessly increasing the size of his book. During the battle between Lord Ramchandra's armies and those of Ravana, Ravana's son Indrajit attacked in the middle of the night, resorted to magic, and made all the monkey soldiers unconscious. At that time, Sri Lakshman also played the pastime of becoming unconscious in order to fulfill a prediction by Brahma. On the advice of the physician Sushen, Hanuman set out to find the herb Vishalyakarani, which alone could save the lives of Lakshmana and the Vanara soldiers. He was able to bring the herb from Gandhamadan mountain not only once but twice. In the course of this, he had to defeat an army of Gandharvas, uproot the entire mountain because he could not distinguish which plant was the correct one, and swiftly return before it was too late. Text 47. Swasanya pranadha Srimat Sanuja Prabhu Harshakaha Gato Vahantam Bhartur Bhaktya Sri Lakshmanasya cha. He was the very life of his soldiers, always giving great pleasure to his divine Lord and the Lord's younger brother Lakshman. He devotedly served as carrier for both of them. Carrier. जय सम्पादकस्तस्य महाबुद्धि पराक्रमः सत्कीर्ति वर्धनो रक्षो राजहंतुर्निज प्रभो. Supremely intelligent and valorous, he brought victory for Lord Ramachandra. He added to the spotless fame of his Lord, who killed the king of the Rakshasas. Commentary. Hanuman showed his intelligence in giving strategic advice and his prowess in opposing the enemy on the battlefield, especially during the confrontations with Indrajit and Ravan. During those battles, both Ramachandra and Lakshman rode on his back. Hanuman increased Lord Ramchandra's fame in various ways by jumping over the ocean, helping set the stage for the killing of Ravana, and so on. Text 49. Sita Pramodanah Swami Satprasadayaka Bhajanam Agyayatmash आत्मेश्वरस्यात्र स्थितोऽपि विरहासहा. It was Hanuman who encouraged Mother Sita, and by the Lord's order, this Hanuman, the one true recipient of his master's favor, still lives in this world, though unable to bear separation from the Lord. Commentary. After Lord Ramchandra killed Ravan in battle, Hanuman brought this news to Mother Sita in the Ashok garden. This brought Sita back to life, and her life became full in happiness when Hanuman took her to meet her husband. Thus, Hanuman rendered many kinds of welcome service to Lord Ram and his devotees. After describing this, Prahlad next mentions the rewards Hanuman enjoyed for his service. When Lord Ramchandra was anointed king of Ayodhya, he particularly favored Hanuman by presenting him Mother Sita's gold necklace. More than this, he granted Hanuman unflinching, pure devotion to him. Since Hanuman's life with Lord Ramchandra after the victory was so fortunate, one might ask how Hanuman could ever leave. I'm sorry, one might ask how Hanuman could ever have left the Lord's association. Why did he not return with Lord Ram to the eternal Ayodhya in Vaikuntha along with the other residents of the kingdom? The answer is that his Lord specifically asked him to stay behind on earth. Atmeshwara means his own Lord, and it also means the Lord of all Atmas. In other words, by staying in this world, Hanuman gave all its inhabitants a much better chance to take to the path of pure devotional service. Lord Ramchandra ordered Hanuman to make this severe sacrifice because the Lord wanted to bestow such mercy on the conditioned souls. Living in separation from the Lord is Hanuman's most difficult and glorious service. Text 50 Atmanam Nitya Tatkirti Shravanenopadharayan Tanmurti Parshavatastishthan Rajate Adyapi Purvavat. He keeps himself alive by constantly hearing the glories of Lord Ram, staying by the side of the Lord's deity. He is present even today with the same splendor as always. Commentary. The pain of separation from Lord Ramchandra would be unbearable for Hanuman, but he has survived by staying always absorbed in the ecstasy of Shravanam Kirtanam. Expert singers among the Kim Purushas like Arshti Shena support Hanuman by providing sweet recitations of Lord Ramchandra's glories for him to hear. Hanuman stays in Kim Purusha Loka near the permanently installed deity of Lord Ram. He regularly worships that deity in various ways, offering the same personal services he used to perform when together with the Lord. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kim Purushe Varshe Bhagavantam Adi Purusham Lakshmanagrajam Sitabhiramam Ramam Charan Sannikarshi Karsha, which is just prose. भीरतः परम भागवतो हनुमान सह किम पुरुषेर अविरत भक्तिरुपासते आष्टि शेषेण सह गंधर्वैर अनुगीयमानां परम कल्याणीं भर्तिर भगवत कथां समुपश्नोति स्वयं चेदं गायति. My dear king, in Kim Purush Varsh, the great devotee Hanuman is always engaged with the inhabitants of that land in devotional service to Lord Ramchandra, the elder brother of Lakshman and dear husband of Sita Devi. A host of Gandharvas is always engaged in chanting the glories of Lord Ramchandra. That chanting is always extremely auspicious. Hanumanji and Arshti Shen, the chief person of the Kim Purush Varsha, constantly hear those glories with complete attention. Hanuman chants various mantras.
Okay, can I just stop there briefly, Mataji? So here we see that Hanuman, even though physically separated from the Lord, is constantly remembering him, constantly remembering him. And uh, constantly remembering him means constantly remembering the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So he constantly hears and chants, and by the process of hearing and chanting, he constantly remembers. So in the Krishna book, if you read carefully, you will see that Prabhupada, let me just, let's just look it up and share the screen, Master. I'll just look it up. It's a very important point which Prabhupada makes. Just give me 1 second. I will. Let's read exactly what Prabhupada says. This is in Uddhava visits Vrindavan. Can I share the screen? Madhu, can you give me the share screen, screen
Everybody
sharing
has
button?
everybody has a right. Anybody can share. Yes, now it is visible, Guruji.
Yeah, okay. I 1 minute. Okay, so this is from chapter 46, Uddhava visits Vrindavan.
Okay.
Since Krishna had departed from Vrindavan and gone to Mathura, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Srimati Radharani, the gopis, and the cowherd boys were simply thinking of Krishna at every step. They were thinking, here Krishna was playing in this way. Here Krishna was blowing his flute. Krishna was joking with us in this way. And Krishna was embracing us like this. This is called Leela Smarana. And it is the process of association with Krishna. Most recommended. Please remember this. This is called Leela Smarana and is the process of association with Krishna. So the process of association with Krishna most recommended by great devotees. Even Lord Chaitanya, when he was at Puri, enjoyed Leela Smarana association with Krishna. Those in the most exalted position of devotional service and ecstasy can live with Krishna always by remembering his pastimes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has given us a transcendental literature called Krishna Bhavanamrita, which is full with Krishna's pastimes. Exalted devotees can absorbed in Krishna thought by reading such books. Any book of Krishna Leela, even this book Krishna or our teachings of Lord Chaitanya, is actually solace for devotees who are feeling separation from Krishna. So this is the what is it? The process of reading Krishna book or teachings of Lord Chaitanya is actually solace for devotees feeling separation from Krishna. Of course, the kind of separation we are feeling is due to forgetfulness. Okay. The kind of separation they are feeling is due to remembrance. So the separation that we are feeling and the separation that the gopis are feeling are different. But nevertheless, the solace is the same. The solace is the same. Because it is said that the process of association with Krishna, most recommended by great devotees. So this is the process of recommendation. Leela Smarana is the most recommended process. We are the most exalted devotees serve the Lord in separation by Leela Smarana. That's the highest stage of pure devotional service. Right now, we are feeling separation due to forgetfulness. And the great devotees feel separation due to remembrance. But whether we are feeling separation due to forgetfulness or whether we are feeling separation due to remembrance, either case, the solace is to hear the Krishna book and teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Because this process of association with Krishna is most recommended by great devotees. Even Lord Chaitanya, when he was at Puri, enjoyed Leela Smarana association with Krishna. Okay. So I'll stop sharing. I just wanted to show this.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
how do we, in forgetfulness, how do we feel separation? We are forgetful. I mean, we don't even care about Krishna.
Therefore, we're practicing the process of sadhana bhakti.
Hmm.
So when we practice sadhana bhakti, when we read the Krishna book or teachings of Lord Chaitanya, right now what we're doing is reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita. When we do that, we feel solace. No.
Yeah,
Even though
we
we're
do.
feeling separation from Krishna due to
Uh,
forgetfulness, still we are feeling solace, right? By hearing about Krishna.
yeah, we are actually feeling troubled because of our material miseries, and that relief
Correct.
comes that way.
Correct. So we are forgetful of Krishna. We are feeling separation from Krishna due to
Yeah.
forgetfulness. Correct.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but whether we are feeling due to forgetfulness, this process is going to give us solace. That is the idea.
Okay. Okay.
Hearing any book of Krishna, even this book Krishna or our teaching, is actually solace for devotees feeling separation from Krishna. Feeling of separation can be due to forgetfulness or due to remembrance. Either case, this process is the recommended process.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Prabhuji, you keep saying we, but you are much beyond us, you're much more, you've been practicing for so many years. But so you kind of tell us when you say we, you tell us that you are one amongst us. But Prabhuji, do you feel separation from Krishna? I mean,
Yeah.
in love.
No, I mean, I should be frank and honest. I have not staged the crossed the stage of Anartha Nivritti for sure. But what I've noticed in my practice of Krishna consciousness is that, uh, see, in the beginning, no, we study so many things. We study we are not the body. We study that, what is it? Everything here is phantasmagoria. All these different kinds of things we study, but because of our consciousness being absorbed in matter since time immemorial, we are still drawn to it. We're still drawn to it. So therefore, what happens is that we are given the process of uh, Yukta Vairagya. What is actually Yukta Vairagya? Yukta Vairagya, in its actual sense, means Anasakta Vishayan. You're supposed to be unattached to an object and engage it in the service of Krishna. Right? That is the meaning of this Anasakta. But are we doing that? No. We are not doing that. So, we are attached to identities, we are attached to so many different things. So, Prabhupada explains that the cause of the problem can also become the cure for the problem. So the cause of the problem is, let's say, stomach upset comes due to milk. So the same milk taken in the form of yogurt can become the solution to the problem. So that is what Prabhupada is teaching us. Prabhupada is teaching us, okay, you are attached to your identity, you are attached to whatever you are. Now engage in Krishna's service. And by that process, you will come to the platform of Yukta Vairagya, of seeing everything, of engaging everything in an unattached manner. For example, the same Prabhupada who spoke so strongly about we are not the bodies, we are not this, we are not that, American, Indian, all those things. But when he would talk to his disciples, sometimes he would say, you're all Americans. What is the use of being Americans if you don't do something wonderful? He says that. So is he encouraging to identify with them? No. He knows that generally people are not free from those identities. We have not reached the stage of Sarvapadi Vinirbhuktam Tat Paratera Nirmalam. Only such a person can actually practice Yukta Vairagya, because then they're not actually attached to anything. They're seeing everything as Krishna's energy, Krishna's property, and engaging. But we are attached to our identities. We are attached to so many things. Therefore, it is prescribed, whatever you're attached to, engage it in the service of Krishna. Okay. So, what is the result of engaging things in the service of Krishna? So slowly we see that we are getting more and more the understanding. Actually, this does not belong to me. Actually, it belongs to Krishna. Actually, I am not Indian. Actually, I am not man. Slowly, you cannot jump in one stage or jump at one shot, but we will be able to see gradually, however slow it may be, but uh, we will be able to see it. And I would say the most important principle to to progress in Krishna consciousness is, 1 minute. I'll just once again I'll share screen. There is the most important principle is this. I'll just come across. I'll just read that Prabhupada exactly what he says. And if we don't follow that principle, then things will go wrong. Just 1 minute. This is three. Okay, 1 minute. Sorry. I'll just share the screen. This is verse 331 of the Bhagavad Gita. Uh, those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Okay. Now look at how the proper, it's a very short purport, especially we'll come to the last part. We'll start with this. The injection of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, is the essence of all Vedic wisdom and therefore is eternally true without exception. As the Vedas are eternal, so this truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. One should have firm faith in this injunction without envying the Lord. Then Prabhupada says, there are many philosophers who write comments on the Bhagavad Gita, but have no faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from the bondage of fruitive action. So what are we supposed to do? Prabhupada says, but an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunction of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders. Please remember this very carefully. Read this carefully. So, but an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. Then Prabhupada writes, in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord. But because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. So this is very important. First of all, that faith that in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, that's very important, becomes liberated. How will they become liberated? In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely. But because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without consideration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. So, what is it? So there are different stages of struggle, So all of us may be in different stages of this struggle. But the point is, this is the injunction of the Lord, this is what Prabhupada is writing in the purport. If we get, because, I mean, the concept of duality entails higher, lower, defeat, victory, and all these things. These are all principles of duality. Higher, lower, better, not better. All these kind of things are concepts of duality. But the principle of Krishna consciousness is one does not get carried away by all these things. Oh, now I'm in a better position than somebody else. I'm in a lower position. I'm now, I mean, all these concepts that we have are all concepts of duality. So what we should be bothered about, it doesn't matter whether I'm better, not better. I should faithfully execute the injunctions of the Lord. Even though I may fail, even though I will still stick to the path. I will still try. That is the whole idea. Then one comes to he will surely, Prabhupada says, be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is what I wanted to say. I mean, that particular, in answer to your question. So that's something which is very, very important, that I'm sure that all of us would know that what we were many years ago and what we are now is different, for sure. Just that whether we may be satisfied or happy with the progress is a different thing. But we have made progress. There's no doubt in that. So we should keep on trying. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, patience is the greatest treasure in going back to God. So we have to try to acquire that greater treasure called patience. So, yes. Because we are getting defeated in different ways. Our consciousness is not always perfect. We are getting defeated in so many ways. So each time you think of a defeat, you're losing time, actually. So you cannot be thinking of that and wasting time. You're supposed to remain focused. Like suppose you are going in a crowded street, you need to get across. Somebody may come and bump you. Something else may happen. All these things may happen. But okay, instead of getting off the car and fighting with somebody, so which is of no use anyway. So we just have to keep moving. I'm just giving them a very limited context in the sense that suppose you have to go somewhere and it's pointless to fight with somebody who has hit your car. We just have to go on with our main business. So many things may happen along the way. Doesn't matter. That's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that this Apichet Suduruchara verse, no, it's quite fascinating what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur does there. So when Krishna speaks to Arjuna, there is a sub-dialogue which is going on between Krishna and Arjuna, and so then Arjuna asks, such a person is to be considered saintly even if he's not able to give up till the point of his death? He asks this question. So then Krishna says yes. Krishna says yes. Because he says that this devotee of mine, he knows that he's, what do you call it? He considers himself, what do you call it? He's not some great devotee. He thinks that someone like me is a blot on the society of devotees. Look at me, where I am, what am I doing? I'm not even able to follow fully the injunctions of the Lord. I mean, in fact, he's talking about sinful activities. Forget about other things, falling short of the standards. You're talking about breaking the standards. But even in that, but despite whatever is happening, he still is determined. No, 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 no. I have to serve my Lord. I have to serve the Lord. I have to come to the stage of pure devotion. So, because of seeing that, the Lord says such a person is to be considered saintly. So no, even till the point of death, he's not able to overcome his bad habits. But Krishna considers such a person saintly. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in that. Of course, as Prabhupada says, nobody should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense. The point is not to commit nonsense, but the point is that as long as we endeavor without trying to justify our weaknesses, as long as we maintain a very transparent and open relationship with Krishna, then Krishna accepts. We don't have to think we are saintly, but at least we know that Krishna accepts. That is very important. Krishna accepts or not, that is the real thing. Krishna accepts. Yes.
So we can only act as per our adhikar. We can't, because Krishna has set that standard and we fall short of it.
Yeah. So we want to come to the standard. Prabhupada says we want to come to the standard. But if you are not able to, what to do? So we will still not get discouraged in practicing our bhakti. We will still do it, with full enthusiasm, because we are interested in pleasing Krishna. Standards are there, but ultimately the point is to please Krishna. In the process of being disappointed of not reaching the standard, you may be displeasing Krishna, no? That's why I say one should not consider all these things. Okay, I have not reached the standard. That's bad. But I'll practice with enthusiasm. That's bad. The devotee should sense that, okay, this is bad. But that should not act as a reason for becoming discouraged or doing less. No. If one accepts it, yes, I'm short of the standard. Yes, this is bad. But one does not give up one's enthusiasm. Then Krishna recognizes that. So that's why Rupa Goswami says Utsaha is the most important principle in devotional service. One cannot give up Utsaha. The moment we give up Utsaha, finished. No matter what our situation is, we should not give up that spirit. Okay, I will practice. I will do it. Then Krishna accepts. Because Shoka and Moha are also elements of duality. So we cannot get into Shoka. We should be enlightened with knowledge. What I've done is really bad, or this is really not up to the mark. I mean, I'm not talking about sinful activities. Sinful activities, obviously, you would think it is crazy. But otherwise, also, you can think that, okay, this is not really up to the mark. But, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yes,
we have actually no other option. That's why Guru Prabhupada says no. that Guru Maharaj says, once he was in front of Prabhupada, somebody came, he was this thing. Prabhupada said, I order you to be happy. He was morose. Prabhupada is giving an order. I order you to be happy. So all of us have that order that we have to be happy. There's no question about because Krishna will take care. That's the whole idea. Not careless. Happy does not mean careless. But we should be happy. Okay. I think we'll stop here for today because I've got to leave. I mean, did we finish that verse or no? That verse we
Uh,
finished, right?
yeah, we finished that verse. Which I'll just share once again. See
Actually,
the
we should
word.
remember that Krishna consciousness is not a performance. Yeah. We should remember that Krishna consciousness is not a performance. Prabhupada gave Krishna consciousness as the great transcendental experience. So the moment we start thinking of it in terms of performance, then we get into anxiety. I need to perform, otherwise what will people think? I'm so many years. So all I mean, the concept of performance brings all kinds of anxieties. That is not the concept of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means we are already perfect. Okay. We're already perfect. There's nothing to achieve actually. We only have to revive that perfection. We have forgotten the perfection. We're completely perfect. We have a unique relationship with the Lord. Every person has got a unique relationship, and uh, we're already fully satisfied beings actually in relationship with the Supreme Lord. There's nothing for us to anchor or lament or achieve. Everything is we're already perfect beings. Just have to revive it. So therefore, we just have to, as they say in the flight, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. No, so like that, we're supposed to experience the Krishna conscious ride. Till we attain love of God. We're supposed to experience. It's not that I have to perform and all those things. This, yeah. I have not revived enough. We can think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't derived enough. Okay, that's nice thing to think. Yeah, it's just that the question keeps coming. Oh, I am thinking this way, and I'm not. Like Bhagwan says that we should be, we should be above the dualities in pain and happiness. Um, but then when the miseries come, then you're not acting in a proper way, and you feel, will this please Krishna? Will my action now, will my thoughts now, will they please Krishna? Like that.
No, we know that certain things can please Krishna for sure, which is to chant the holy names, to take shelter of the Shravanam, Kirtanam, these things will please. So whether other things are pleasing or not pleasing is irrelevant. We should just focus on the principles of bhakti that Srila Prabhupada has given us. That's it. We don't have to ours is not the process of analyzing thoughts and this thing. No, we just have to engage in bhakti. We just have to chant here, read, associate with devotees, and go on with life. Because those things are sometimes significant in the process of jnana. Because in jnana, they're trying to attaining Brahma Jyoti through the process of knowledge. So they have to constantly analyze. Am I thinking properly now? Not thinking properly now? They have to constantly analyze. So ours is not an analytical process. Ours is a process of why am I unnecessarily thinking this and that? Let me just take shelter of Krishna. Let me just chant attentively. That's all. Or let me just render service sincerely. Let me just hear attentively the Bhagavatam. That's it. So the mind will automatically get peaceful. Because to deal with deal with the mind analytically, it only entangle the mind further. Just like insects crawling in a spider's web, will only going to get more entangled. So the only way to detangle is to take shelter of the process of bhakti. Then automatically those disturbances in the mind will settle. Because you're taking away the focus from ourselves to Krishna. Because the moment you think my mind, all this thing, then you're focusing on yourself. Instead of that, let's change the focus to Krishna. Let me try to make him happy. That's it. Let me forget about all the disturbance going on in my mind. Let me just try to make him happy. That's it. It's counterintuitive, but somehow or the other, we think that if we have mental problem, we have to deal with it and then it will get solved. It's not like that. Man manabhavat bhakto. So Krishna is saying, okay, engage your mind in thinking of me. That is the prescription that Krishna himself says. And the gopis are all doing it. This is the process, actually. The more we analyze, the more we get complicated. What is paralysis by analysis?
Yes, paralysis. Yes.
As they say, stop thinking, start working. For us, stop thinking, start seva. Seva could be chanting, it could be whatever. That's why Prabhupada said the best way to fight Maya is to neglect Maya. And the greatest Maya for us is the mind. No, it says the greatest enemy. Greatest enemy is the mind, because mind will keep on saying all kinds of things. And the problem is we so closely identify the mind. The moment the mind comes up with things, immediately we identify with it and we get disturbed. Yeah. Okay. So I think we'll stop here. We'll resume again next Thursday. Thank you all very much for joining. Vanchikalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhevcha paritanam pavanebhyo vishnebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.